Well, the year has barely got started, and here we go with our Jewish holidays. That's right. As you know, a lot of our Jewish holidays come from the Torah themselves. Some of the holidays come from Jewish history, and some come from the fact that the modern state of Israel exists today. Our first holiday of the year, which begins our year, is Rosh Hashana, the head of the new year. What's this holiday all about? Well, one year ends, a new year begins. It's blessings of sweetness for the new year. So lots of different symbolic foods that relate to sweetness and our hopes and blessings for a new year. It's a moment of reflection and judgment. Will I make it to the end of this year? Will I make it to the end of next year? How is this holiday traditionally observed? Some main customs? Well, we've got 100 shofar blasts that will take place on the 2 days, each day of Yom Kippur. Shofar is kind of the alarm clock of the heart. We use breadcrumbs as metaphors of the stuff we're trying to get rid of, and have this great ritual called tashlich, which we'll simulate in our lower school this year. We bake lots of things that are sweet and like honey, and using honey and apples together, apples and honey. There's 2 days of a lot of praying and some eating as well. And it's kind of like Shabbat, except you are allowed to carry and you are allowed to cook, except for this year, the day number 1, which is actually both Rosh Hashanah and Shabbat. So on that day, you're not allowed to carry and you're not allowed to cook. What need is this holiday trying to fulfill? Well, it's saying I'm accountable for my time. Time unmarked is meaningless. And it's a sense of thinking about how I've acted this past year, and how that affects my quality of my life in the year to come. How will the observance of this holiday affect my students? Well, you'll see on Friday, September 15th, we've got a half day as students leave early to get ready for Rosh Hashanah and Shabbat. The Rosh Hashanah's first day coincides with Shabbat, and second day is on Sunday. And so the whole holiday itself ends, and all the restrictions end when 3 stars are in the sky on Sunday night, meaning someone who is very, very observant, which we have a few at TBT, will have done no work whatsoever, will not have picked up a pencil, will not have cracked a book, will have done nothing until about 9 o'clock on Sunday night. And that's why we have no tests collected, no tests and no homework collected on Monday. Monday happens to be actually a small holiday of its own. It is a fast day called Tzom Gedalia, the fast of Gedalia, which marks actually the end of Jewish rule in Israel, way back when the Romans were involved. And we also begin a period known as the 10 days of repentance, Aseret Yemei Tshuva, and that culminates with Yom Kippur. So these are kind of weighty days that we come back to school into. You'll see 2 different rituals happening during the week leading up to Rosh Hashanah. One is this ritual of Tashlich, where we kind of take breadcrumbs and place them into our own TVT Jordan River. You'll also see, starting when we get back from Rosh Hashanah, some sorry booths where kids can fill out sorry slips that we will hand out before Yom Kippur. How can I make a connection with this holiday in my class? Well, you can talk about reflections and goal setting, looking back and looking forward. You can talk about tshuva times in kids' own lives where they asked for forgiveness, where they needed to say sorry, where they actually forgave someone else. Great writing prompts there. And also talk about the new opportunities of what this new year, right? It is fortuitous that the beginning of the Jewish New Year really maps so nicely with the beginning of the school year. If Jewish living and learning are catalysts towards getting students to kind of understand that I have a part to play in making the worlds that I'm a part of better than I found them, then how does this holiday kind of lean into those ideas? Well, the holiday, Rosh Hashanah, says what relationships need fixing, and what are the steps I need to do to fix them. That there's a new opportunity in this new year to become a new me, but that takes work and will. What will my words say, and how will my actions kind of show that will is made manifest? Have I made the days of my past year count? What small baby steps can I do to kind of live more intentionally, more mindfully, more gratefully? And to be able to ask for forgiveness takes humility. To have the courage to forgive those who desperately want a second chance from me is also an act of kindness and vulnerability. Can I rise to these challenges? Some images, symbols, and language of this holiday. Well, we often say as people are leaving next Friday, Shana Tova, Have a great new year. Some symbols are your apples and honey, your ways, this whole book of life that is being open, that God is kind of trying to write in that book. Who will kind of make it into a year of meaning in the year ahead. We also can say Shana Tova V'Tikatevu, right? Happy New Year, and I hope you're written in the book of life for the year ahead. That's it, everyone. Shana Tova.